Howdy, I'm Jace and I'm a sex addict. Each week I come on and discuss my life as an addict or a person in recovery, or now just someone very determined to find out what it means to be sexually healthy. The question that I got in this week was really stellar. I thought it was a really good question, and it was with regard to, do sex addicts worry about non-life-threatening STDs? As always, I can only talk about my experience in active addiction, and that's what I'm going to do today and talk about how I dealt with STDs. Honestly, I was living in a completely false reality. For some reason, I did not think that I could be affected by STDs, even though I was not using protection, I was sleeping with strangers, I was participating in dangerous acts that could have led not only to non-life-threatening STDs, but to life-threatening STDs and life-threatening situations as well. And it just never occurred to me that I might have those consequences hit home. I'm not stupid, mind you. I'm not incompetent. I am not like an egomaniac where I think things don't affect me. Like, that's really not where those were coming from. I really, to the best of my understanding from the addiction experts I've spoken with, from all of the research that I've done and reading in this area, addiction really acts in the limbic system, which is the part of the brain that is very short term. It's our fight or flight and our reward center as well. So because the addict's brain is really functioning in the limbic system, there isn't that idea of consequences. It's more like, I need this right now to survive, the end. And it doesn't have that connection with the other part of the brain that says, hold on a second. Let's think this through. What might happen if we participate in this action? And because the addict's brain, my brain really thought it was life or death with these things, that this is what I needed to survive because it's what I had used as a severe coping mechanism based off of things in my life. It didn't even occur to me that, I could be at risk for all of these consequences. So that's my understanding of why that might have been the case for me, and why non-life-threatening or threatening STDs didn't come into play in my head when I was in active addiction all of those years. So yeah, that's been my experience with STDs, and I definitely, now that I'm on the other side of it, recognize that this really is, for lack of a better word, like, this is the temple, right? And it has to be protected. And now I'm very conscientious of how I take care of myself and my body, and have more respect for that, because I certainly didn't before. And that was the other part of it as well. Like, I didn't really care what happened to me. And for so much of that time, I hated myself so much that I really didn't care what went on. And there were times where I would pray so hard. I would just beg for something to happen. I don't know any other way to say this, but I would just beg for some type of like horrible disaster or mutilation to happen to my genitals to just stop all of it, because I really didn't want to be participating in these behaviors, and I just couldn't seem to stop them myself. And I honestly would just like wish so hard that something horrible would happen to my genitals, so that way it would be out of my hands and I wouldn't be able to participate in the activities anymore that were very shameful, very degrading, very soulless for me. So it's not that I was wishing to have, life-threatening STD or anything like that directly, but I did spend a lot of time not caring about what happened to me, and even hoping that bad things would happen, just to end it all. So yeah, that's my take. That's my experience with STDs. Thank you so much for sending in that question. Please, honestly, guys, like, keep them coming. I'm an open book. I am happy to share on anything within reason. No one's hit me with anything that I'm not willing to share on yet. So feel free to send those in. You can do that through my website, suddenlycelibate.com. Yeah. Until next week, stay curious.